hello, all the geezers and their birds. Just to let you know, we had a couple of technical problems with this episode. So towards the back end, you might notice that the sound slightly changes. Not a big deal, but we just thought we'd let you know, just in case you think, what the fuck's going on? But anyway, welcome back to another episode of That Josh James Show.
Right. Well, if I can find a few action somewhere, I'm going to love it.
The backlash makes me horny.
We're up for the banter.
It's a comedian.
Hello, welcome back to That Josh James Show. It's a podcast for the geezers.
And their birds.
As ever, I'm joined by Romford's #1 podcaster. It's Chris White, a.k.a. Whiteboy. What's happening?
Wagwan.
You good, mate?
I'm good.
Got to say, you're looking very fresh, man. Lovely bits from
I
Penguin.
don't know if you can see that on the camera there. My guy from Penguins come through clutch.
Oh, mate.
Funny enough, right, I was just about to message him saying, what's happening, bruv? Got any new bits? Because it's like coming summer, all the other stuff he sent me.
He sent you for a new box?
And there was a message. As I went to message him, he messaged me saying, are you ready for new season? And I'm like, yes,
Are you ready
bruv.
for the new season?
I'm like, yes, bruv.
Yeah,
and he come
jokes.
through clutch. What an absolute gentleman. Mate, we've been having a back and forth. The rep from Penguin, I won't say his name, I don't think he wants me to, but really nice fella. We're actually going out for dinner. Me and my missus, him and his missus,
Oh, nice.
in about a month's time.
Oh, you really?
Yeah.
You met him before?
No,
Where's he from?
no idea.
Really?
Just a real nice chat. We've been chatting. He listens to my other podcast. He's got a few mates who are struggling with addiction and stuff.
Nice.
Yeah. And he's like, your pod's really helped me to understand like my mates, and I've been
Yeah. The
better to
fuckery.
deal with the situation. He loves this pod. Like, just a nice fella.
Yeah, love that.
So I thought least I could do, take him out for dinner.
Yeah.
Sent me like 3 huge boxes of clothes, you know what I mean?
Top man.
But smart bits, I really like it. And I've dropped down to a large. I think the XLs are a little bit big.
Yeah.
I think the largest fit me a bit better.
You're trimming down, mate.
Yeah, mate.
We're going to start off with some listener questions and that today.
Okay.
Have you got any?
Mate, I saw a great one. I think it was just a comment on one of the videos. And this is a great question I wanted to ask you. Would you rather be first in line against the gorilla or last in line for Bonnie Blue?
Yeah, I think I'd be first in line to fuck that gorilla.
There's been a huge debate. Where did this come from? The 100 gorillas. 100 geezers versus a gorilla.
Yeah.
Who started
I think
it?
I'd rather be the first person. I think I'd rather get fucked by a gorilla
Then fuck Bonnie Blue
than fuck Bonnie
999.
Blue after 999 geezers.
Yeah.
To be honest. At least with a gorilla, you know you're the first. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Still, mate, Bonnie Blue, 1,000 geezers. How
thing
could
is,
you do
The
it?
trouble if I have with Bonnie Blue is, I can't look past this. She looks like her breath stinks. Do you know
She
what
does
I mean?
look smelly, yeah.
She looks like she got a smelly breath.
She does look smelly.
And she probably has got a smelly breath.
She's definitely got smelly breath, mate.
I mean, if anyone's got a smelly breath, it's going to be her, isn't it?
Of course she has. Fuck me. She's got smelly breath on a good day, let alone the day she got rattled 1,000 times. You know what I mean? You imagine. Talk about haggard.
Sometimes when I'm not showered all day, I smell my little winky, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, Jesus Christ. So the smell of that, let alone that, times 1,000 geezers of all different
Yeah.
fucking shapes and sizes. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The one guy with a sock hanging off his foot.
Yeah.
Oh, so funny, mate. I don't know if I can mention this. So you know our pal, who's got this court case against him from the one who hates Ian Wright.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Your court case, we should probably say court case is, like for libel. Yeah.
Yeah. So he went up there on the day,
No.
not to do her,
In character.
as he's called pedo guy. You know his
Right.
character, right? So he wears this hat, you know, that's got the propeller on top of it.
It's so funny.
And he's like a mad Charlton fan.
Yeah.
This character is. So he went up there to cause chaos. And I hope you don't mind me saying this. So they wouldn't let him in. He's took a guy with a camera.
They wouldn't let him in.
They wouldn't let him in. He's took a guy with a camera to film all the whole day.
Because they thought he was too weird.
He's caused carnage, like proper. And there's bouncers and that, yeah? So they're like, no, you're not coming in. So he closed the gates and like hung on to the gates like this, made like a human padlock on the gate. And he's like, no one in. And whilst this going on, the bouncers nicked his hat. Right?
No.
So this is what he told me. At the end of it, she's sitting there in the middle holding up the sign of 1,000 because it was like 100, 200. She kept putting up a bit of paper saying that she'd done that many geezers.
Yeah.
And at the end of it, there was 1,000 Johnnies on the floor
That makes me feel sick.
and his hat
And his hat.
is in the shot. Like, they tried doing it, like tucking him up a little bit, saying that he was in there.
Oh, mate, give him a shout out, All Right fans.
Yeah, shout out All Right fans. What a legend.
Do you know what is with All Right fans? I always say to him, he's like the George Best of comedy.
Yeah.
Like, he's mad as a box of frogs.
Yeah.
But his ideas that he comes up with, I just think, where have you plucked that from, mate?
Mate, he's a genius.
So funny.
But like slightly unhinged.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. He's a genius. But then like he'll do something which just completely like will derail himself. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's why he's like George Best, because I'm like, you've got all the techers and genius in the world, and then you're just
It's
like,
just a bit misunderstood.
then you'll hit self-destruct.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, mate, he come up. I was chatting to
honestly though, when I think All Right fans, in terms of like people doing the online thing, I think he's the funniest one doing
mate,
it.
he's
I think
so
he's the
funny.
funniest
I
person
don't know how he
doing it,
comes
yeah.
up with it. I really don't. It's just like
think
fucking brilliant. So he come up to record an episode of my other pod. Right, he messaged me last night like, "What's going on with that episode?" And I was like, "Mate, we just." I tried editing it, mate. We just couldn't use it. Like our listeners are expecting something, and it just weren't that. He'd be better. I'll tell you what.
We're going to get him on.
Let's
We're
get him
going
on.
to get him on here, yeah.
Right, it's just half to say he told that story about the Bonnie Blue hat on that pod, and I'm like, mate, like, no, that's the wrong pod.
Even getting All Right fans on here, I'm like, we'd probably have to record for about an hour and a half, because I reckon there'd probably be a good 45 minutes of that.
Or
might have
we
to
could
cut out.
Patreon it, and then he can fucking say what he wants.
Yeah, exactly.
But he messaged me, and I was like, mate, I'm so sorry you had to come all the way down there. And he's like, no, look, at least if anyone asks, I can tell them I've been to Southend.
Yeah, of course.
So he was a good sport.
No,
about
he's
it.
good as gold, mate.
Yeah.
He's good as gold. I see something else. Someone tagged me in something else online the other day,
Mm.
right? And I don't know whether this person has done an impression of me, yeah, or has done AI, but they've done my voice.
Right.
And I've never heard someone impersonate my voice, but and I'm like, I think that's pretty accurate. Like even like down to the point of, I got does my little laugh in it when I'm saying something, and I'm like, that's mad that you've picked that up.
Have you got it?
That. Yeah, and I've got it here. Tell me what you think. It honestly creeped me out, because I'm like, there's a bit in it where he does a little laugh. You know, sometimes when I talk and I laugh.
Yeah, that little giggle, yeah.
Yeah, right. He does that, and I'm like, oh, I've never noticed I've done that myself, but I know that I do that. Listen to this.
Yeah, we got another new. Roll up. Here we go. We got another new beard trimmer in. Look at that. Waterproof, USB charger. No more fanning around in the bathroom trying to charge it. Here's all the details about it. 50 minutes. Only takes 5 hours to charge. Not too long. You got your own charging dock with a USB, and look at it. It's something to marvel, isn't it, really? Look at that. That is a proper bit of gear. Do your nose, do your beard, do your legs, even if you want to fancy a swim. Go for it.
You see
Who
that?
is it?
I don't know. It's just a random geezer on TikTok. And
It sounds like halfway between you and the plum.
And the plum, yeah. But you see that bit there where he goes,
I got it.
where he done the laugh. He's like that.
You do that.
I'm like, fucking hell, yeah, I do that.
That's how you introduce most of these episodes, because you're normally laughing when we start.
But it's like a bit like that.
Yeah.
Mate, it creeped me out. I was like, that is mad.
We could get deep faked, because we've got so much content now of us talking.
Easy. Yeah.
That, like, AI takes that and they could just recreate what we've said. We could get fucking right stitched up.
Yeah. Anything illegal, any videos that you see come out, just know that's probably AI.
Yeah, if it's well bad, it weren't us.
It weren't us.
Yeah.
Weren't us.
Definitely weren't us. Deep fake.
It was a deep fake. But I've got a story here from a listener, which I thought would be. It was actually on the YouTube comment, and he's such a long thing that he's written. I was like, oh, I've got to mention that on the pod. You know what I mean? Because he's gone to such lengths.
Wow, that is long.
That is long, isn't it?
Yeah.
I can't remember who this is from. I think it's from a guy called Clarkey. I might be wrong. Sorry, I've not written down your name here. But if you're listening to this, you'll know
You know
who
who you are.
And comment on the video. Just
That
to be
was
like,
me.
That's
Yeah.
me.
And then we give you another shout out.
And I thought, God, this is like the sort of mayhem you get up to when you're younger. So here we go. I was 24 years old. It's the night before a game, football match. Yeah. get talking to what can be called an older bird on the way home, and it turns out she's game, right? End up back at hers on the kitchen floor going at it. Then there's the key in the front door sound. Her daughter, who's probably like a year younger than me, walks in and loses her mind.
Oh.
The noise of this commotion then appears to wake the fella who's upstairs. Geezer comes down in a bird's dressing gown, clocks what's going on, and bursts into tears.
Oh my God.
Then the daughter goes up a level and starts throwing glasses, making it impossible to get my clothes on. I have then had to leg it home about a half a mile, basically bollock naked. Then, day of the game, we're playing Gregory Celtic in the Northants Counties League. Where's Northants Counties League?
That sounds Scottish.
Sounds like to me that might be like Norfolk or something, I'm not sure. But game kicks off, I'm playing wing back. Guess who's on the side of the pitch? The bird and her fella.
No.
On the side, like he's playing right back. Now, I never worked out which one of their team was their lad, but having to run up and down the wing probably 3 foot away from them was awkward to say the least. Second half, the other wing back gets injured and I have to swap sides to do exactly the same again. So he's playing on the left again.
Yeah.
I'm now 30 years old and still get absolutely hammered for that. Any new people I get introduced to by the lads will often be told to request the Gregory Celtic mum story.
So hang on. He's rumping the bird on the kitchen floor whilst her fella is upstairs.
Yeah.
And then after she gets caught red-handed, he just goes to a football match with her. Like nothing's happened.
Yeah.
Bursts into tears.
Well, she obviously done it before, hasn't she?
Of course, I'm just saying.
Like, that sort of reaction,
Wow.
bursting into tears, that's not like, what's going on? I can't believe you've done this. Bursting into tears, he's like, oh my God, I can't believe you've done this again.
He just started crying and then went to a Sunday League football match and then saw the geezer again and didn't leave. Mate, I can't get my head around it.
Yeah.
Great
You've got
story.
to leave her.
Yeah,
You've
you
got to
don't
leave her.
go to the football match. You say, no, you can go on your own. And then while she's out, you put all of her stuff in a box and leave it at the front door.
Yeah.
That's what you do.
Remind him of the story about one of our mates who shall remain nameless, right? You might be able
Give me a clue.
You right, no, I'm not going to, because this is big, right? So, 195 in Epping, he gets talking to these 2 girls. 2 girls he's talking to. And they're both like on him. Do you know what I mean? And they've got a gay mate. Right. So anyway, they end up going back to one of her flats and they're both on him. And they both start
Is it?
noshing him off.
Oh, you see.
Right? And he's like that, noshing him off. The gay guy's in the corner.
No.
The gay guy comes over, puts his arm around him, and he just goes, "No, I'm not into that, mate." And like pushed him away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he was in the room.
In the room, yeah.
Yeah, that's
He was
his
like-
version of the story. I
But
wonder
imagine
what
that, you're
really
like,
happened.
This is amazing. Like, I've always dreamed of like having a threesome.
Yeah.
And then you get old mate boy come round, literally just, but like didn't try and just come round and put his arm around him like that. He's like,
Yeah. Just tried his luck.
he's like, no mate, I'm not into that.
So all 3 of them was on him.
All 3 of them was on him, yeah, but he shut
Yeah.
the door on the fella, unfortunately.
Yeah. Okay. So he says. You know what I mean? So he says.
Yeah, I know. I mean, the only people that know the real truth is the 4 people in that room.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly, mate. Nice.
yeah, you always get stories like that when you're younger, though.
Mate, I was just trying to think about some stories.
I remember there was this
Obviously-
girl I was in Malia. She was like, I must have been like 20 or whatever. She was right northern like this and a bit bullshit.
Northern lass.
She was going, yeah, talk dirty to me. And I'm like, not really into that. And I was just going, okay, I can remember what I said. I was like, yeah, you like that, you tart? Like, yeah, you like that, you northern tart, don't you, eh? Yeah, take that, you northern tart. She's like, can you stop calling me a tart, please? Say something else. And I'm like, oh, you bloody slush pot. Go on. The
You're
worst,
supposed to insult
the
them.
worst dirty talk ever. And she was like, all right, stop with the dirty talk now. Stop. Turn on.
I've had enough of that
I've
now.
had enough of that, and I'm like, I'm like, well, I'll stop when I want to, you tart. All right, you big old northern powerhouse. I'm like, I'll say when enough's enough.
Don't call them a big old anything.
Yeah.
mate. That ain't dirty talk. You just
Yeah.
literally insulted them.
Yeah, you want to get dirty like your dad
James,
did down the mines, do you, eh? You big northern powerhouse, do you? Yeah, go on, I'll say when it's enough, you tart.
I'm just imagining you talk dirty. Like,
Oh, mate, terrible at it. Terrible at it.
Yeah. No good.
Terrible. Just, no, it ain't for me.
No good, mate. You know, it's like thinking about, obviously I was telling Els before about some stories from Australia. That was the second time I went there. When we went before, like, we was young, like 19. So we was going to, there's this thing in Australia called schoolies. Do you know what schoolies is?
Okay, well, I say Bonnie Blue, by the way, because there's schoolies.
Does she?
Yeah, she goes, I want to meet some schoolies.
So it's probably an Australian, it's like an Australian thing. So basically, when everyone leaves school in Australia, they're like 17. It's like sixth form ages when they leave.
Yeah.
Right? They all go to Surfers Paradise, which is on the Gold Coast, which is where I lived. And it's called Schoolies. It's like a massive party on the beach. Right? And it's like, it's not even fair. You know what I mean? It's really easy to pull birds. Like, if anyone's like not got no experience around that, their whole thing is like, I'm going to lose my virginity at Schoolies. You know what I mean? And we had like a sick apartment in the city where this thing is. So it was like, I really don't know how much of this stuff I can say. 'Cause it got,
Say all of it, mate.
it got a bit fucking, I was talking to the Shermanator about it last night and I was just like, mate, like, can I even say this stuff? So anyway, there's like four of
Not
us.
illegal, is it?
It's not illegal.
Okay, you can say it then.
So it's just like, you know what I mean? It was a long time ago. So
Oh, yeah, but
we've gone back, like, got a couple of birds back to the apartment, and it was like, we're like, so who do you fancy out of us? And both of them pointed at my mate, and we're like,
not you?
no. It's like, yeah. So there's four of us, and we're like, they both pointed at him, and we're like, I'm not going to tell you, say he was there,
Yeah.
and we're like, well, nah, because that's not fair on us.
Guilt trip him.
So then we're like, all right, there's only one way to settle this. Let's do rock, paper, scissors, right?
Right.
So the first girl's done rock, paper, scissors, and we're doing rock, paper, scissors for who gets the girls, basically. They was on it.
Yeah.
So the one who the girl wanted to do in the first place wins, and this girl goes, yes.
So you know it's for that for,
So we're
for
like-
your mate. You know he knows it's on then.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, cool.
So anyway, it ended up, everyone done everyone.
But-
you know what I mean? But there was a
Nice.
specific order. And I was just talking to my pal about it last night, like, mate, it was actually fucking ching chang walla for who gets to go in the bedroom first.
That's
Like,
great.
this is brutal though, isn't it?
I wonder if that's how they do arranged marriages. You know
Mate,
what I mean?
Who knows? Who knows?
They might do that.
Ching chang walla, mate.
There is
They were good days.
another mate who shall remain nameless because it's a bit horrible on him, really. Do you remember? Well, I remember we used to do after parties, even in the early 20s. Used to, like, to get going, you'd play spin a bottle.
Yeah.
And there's one of our mates who, obviously, the girls weren't too keen on for maybe aesthetic reasons. You probably know what I'm talking about.
I know you're talking about.
And then whenever like the spin a bottle would land on him, they go, "Oh no, it's not fair. You got to spin it again." And he said, "Oh, come on,
Please.
oh, no." He's like, "Oh, it's landing on me." He's like, "Come on, do me a favour." And they're like, "No, that's not fair. Spin again."
Well, this is it, right? In this current climate, all of a sudden things like you're not allowed to do stuff. Mate, this stuff's been going on for ages. Remember Kiss Chase? Can't get away with Kiss Chase no more. Chase them and kiss them. It's not allowed.
Yeah. Kiss Chase was a bit difficult for me because I went to an all-boys Catholic school.
You went to an
so-
all-boys Catholic school and you weren't very fast.
So yeah, we had to play that with the priests,
Yeah.
unfortunately. But we did have the fastest relay team in the borough. So you know what I mean? Swings and roundabouts. And not
Is
a
that one of your jokes? It is, isn't it?
There's not a chance we didn't go them battens. You know what I mean? Ooh.
I thought I'd heard that before.
Yeah, mate.
Doing all right, Jamesy. Tickets still available.
Tickets still available to my tour if you want to come and hear that joke.
Plenty more where that
There's
came
plenty
from.
more where that come from. Do you know what I was thinking the other day? You don't get MILFs anymore.
MILFs?
You don't get them no more. And then I realised, it's because they're all our age.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Jamesy, you're right.
They're all our age. You know what I mean? Like now MILFs, you can't be like, she's a MILF. It's like, it's your mate's bird.
She's a bit young for me. Yeah.
Yeah.
The MILFs are a bit young for us now.
You don't get MILFs no more. It's because they're all our age now.
So there are still MILFs. They're just not MILFs to us.
Well, do you know what I've been getting into now?
What?
The NILFs.
No.
Nans I'd like to fuck.
Matures.
Nah, there's a couple NILFs out there. We can still appreciate the NILFs. You know what I mean?
Okay, nah.
Yeah.
No.
There was a NILF on
some
I was
Wayne
watching
Rooney
Eurovision
shit.
the other day. There's a NILF on there. She's about 47. Italian bird. She's talking about her grandson, and I was like, NILF.
They age well. The Italians age well.
Yeah,
it's all the
mate.
olive oil, mate.
I'm like, NILF, yeah, I'd have, yeah. Nans I'd like to fuck.
Did you see that thing I sent you of that geezer who rates the WNBA teams?
No.
They don't send it to you.
I've got to be honest, I don't watch your reels that you send me.
None of them.
They don't often hit it for me. I like proper dark, demented shit.
I am.
You need to, if you want
so
to be sending
offended.
me reels, you got to be sending me some gay stuff, some like disabled stuff. Do you know what I mean?
I'm
That's what I'm
so
into.
offended. I curate my reels to specific people.
Yeah, see, I'm not into the ones you send me. So I've
Never?
stopped. No, I don't watch
You
them no
telling
more.
me I ain't never fucking sent you a reel that you're like, yeah, that's smacks.
I send reels to the plum, just winding him up, like loads of like ladyboy ones.
Yeah, like wokey stuff.
No, I'll send them to him, and I'm like, oh, get on this one. And he's like, nah, mate, you've lost the plot,
no,
yeah?
I'm
You lost the plot. It's a geezer, mate. It's a geezer. And I'm like, nah, she's gorgeous, mate.
All I'm saying
I'm
is
just getting him at it, and he's like, no.
the fact that the algorithm's offering you that stuff,
Yeah,
You
mate,
probably are on it.
I get a lot of ladyboy
you
stuff.
probably are on it.
Because I'm sending it to the plum, going, oh, you like this, didn't you?
Yeah, so now it knows that you
Because
like
I know
it.
he'd be sitting home all uncomfortable, like, yeah, she's fit. I can't say it because she's got Willie. Fucking, he's done about 3 phones that he's thrown at the wall. You know what I mean? I literally, he tries to send me other banter ones. All I send in the plum is ladyboy ones.
Is it really?
And I'm like, get on this one.
Well, look. To be honest, mate, it's hurt me. I'm deeply
'Cause I
wounded.
know in
my,
his
my
mind he's
meme
gonna-
game. My meme game is sick. So,
But I know the plum's going to be watching that, like, do you know what I mean? His mind's telling him no, but his body's telling him yes.
who sends you the best memes?
Plum sends me some good memes.
Okay.
He sent me one the other day, like, and I had to like, be like, mate, you're an idiot. He sent me a one, right? Down syndrome girl, like with a really amazing body. Obviously, what they've done is they've done a deep fake AI.
Okay.
Where some like as a model, it's very weird actually. It's very creepy that people were doing this, but it's obviously a girl. She's a model, great body, and she's AI like Down syndrome on her
Okay.
face. He's like, mate, get on this absolute weapon. And I'm like, mate, it's AI. Like,
I can tell.
I'll be
AI.
like, listen, you're better, and as well, you can't be like, you're better off looking at the ladyboy stuff. That's more
Yeah,
ethically.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. I mean, look. Is it?
No, you can't. No, you can't. You can't be. No, you can't do that.
Still, this is dark, man.
Yeah, that is dark. But anyway, I've got a great bunk up story that I can't share, unfortunately, in this
Okay.
episode. But I will be sharing on the Patreon episode.
Thanks to everyone who signed up to the Patreon.
Yeah,
I hope you're
thanks for
enjoying the
episode.
content.
I've got to say, this one is an absolute blinder, but I just can't have it out there.
Okay, no worries. You got to pay for that shit.
I can't have it out there, mate. So, talking about birds, you seen this young girl? She's in like, I don't know, she's in Georgia. She pops up in Georgia. She's getting done for the drug trafficking.
Yeah, apparently she doesn't know that she was transporting drugs.
Mate, she's 18 though. Like, I can't half believe that, to be honest.
I saw a thing a little while ago and they was getting these, like, it was like a charity thing with these bears. It was like, oh, you've won this bear. So what they was doing is saying to people that they'd won this bear whilst they was on holiday, and they was just filling them up with drugs. And then people was taking the bear home just thinking it was a normal bear. And then part of the thing was like, oh, what's your address? And then people was going to the house and saying, give me the bear.
Ah, what's that?
So it's like,
That's clever.
really clever. Pretty fucking long-winded, you know what I mean? I'm sure there's easier ways of doing it, but that was happening for a while, because what they were saying is there's nothing less suspicious about someone who doesn't know they're doing something wrong.
Yeah, true.
So if someone doesn't know that they're transporting
They
drugs,
can't act all
they ain't
digi.
acting all shifty.
Yeah, of
because they
course.
don't know they've got drugs. So it could be a similar situation to that. You know what I mean? Someone's filled a bag, but it's like, right, 15 kilos of puff. I'm pretty sure you've got 15 kilos of puff on you.
You smell it.
Like, if it was maybe like 1 kilo of cocaine, that's pretty small. There ain't a lot of smell to it. You can slip that in someone's bag without knowing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like 15 kilos of weed. That is enormous.
It's a lot.
1 kilo of weed is like that big. It's like a throw pillow.
Where was she storing it? In her bag?
I've got no clue, but she's claiming ignorance. I don't
true,
know.
actually, when you put
I
it
didn't
like
know I
that.
had it.
Say that we went on a stag do once, right? And we went on this stag do, and we went with this guy, like real straight laced guy who's got a real top job at like one of these top banks.
Oh.
Right? And some of our mates, unfortunately, are real degenerate geezers that think it is all right to take narcotics from one country to another. I've never done that. I don't think it's right. I mean, listen, it's too dangerous. Don't ever do that. But some people whack it in their suitcase or whatever.
It's risky.
2 blokes I know went on this stag do. They'd done it. They had it in this wash bag. And they go, anyone got any space for this wash bag in their suitcase? This guy that works for this top like investment bank, like proper straight laced guy, he's like, yeah, I'll take it for you lads, no problem.
Fuck.
And I'm looking at him, I'm like,
And there was like an ounce of gear in there. Yeah.
a big, a lot, like as in this geezer would have lost his job,
Yeah.
whatever.
Could have got
Anyway,
banged up.
we get through. I don't know about this. We get through. They're like, mate, you got that wash bag? He's like, yeah, sure, chaps. Here you go. And my mate goes to me, goes, oh, mate, that's got like a big thing. And I was just like, mate, I actually lost my patience with him. I was like, mate, are you a fucking idiot?
That would give you the
Give me the I was like, mate, he's just like a geezer that.
It got through.
But he goes,
This is what you do.
That was his reasoning. He was like, oh, no, sweet. He didn't get caught, did he? I was like, no, but mate, what if he did get caught?
I know, but this is it. You hung up on the coulda, woulda.
No, that's bang out of order.
Don't get me wrong. If he gets caught, it's out of order. If he don't get caught, sweet, mate.
No, mate.
Everyone's got loads of gear. We know it's high quality because we bought it in England. No one's going to get mugged off. The geezer didn't lose his job.
But he went to me.
My reaction would be, mate, that's a fucking liberty, but brilliant. We've got the drugs. You know what I mean?
No, I think
I know. I can see exactly your
because
face.
I was like, listen, if you want to do that for your life, that's fair enough.
It's a liberty, bro.
Don't listen. If you want to do that for your life, that's your choice in life, right? And we all make good and bad decisions based off of what we think's right? That's fair enough. But when you're dragging him into it, right? And now he goes, oh, no, if he got caught, I just would have stuck my hand up and said it was me. I was like, 1, you fucking wouldn't have.
Yeah, of course not.
I don't believe you would have. And 2, he could have, even if you stuck your hand up, he still probably could have lost his job. And
First of all, they wouldn't have fucking understood what you were saying because it was in a foreign country, and they would have been like, "What are you talking about?"
yeah, they would. He would have got done for it. Yeah.
You're right. It is really naughty.
But I mean, but it was. We laughed about it on holiday because I was like, "That is so cheeky to do that." But yeah, that was out. But I remember I can remember going away with this one geezer, right, on this stag do. He literally got through customs. He'd often put it in his suitcase, literally got in the middle of Mallorca Airport, opened up his suitcase in the middle, and he's like, oh, just go inside it.
Jeez.
Left his suitcase wide open.
Is this a pattern?
And went and done,
He's done the same.
you know what I'm talking about?
He's done the same on at the wedding we went to
Yeah.
in Portugal.
Yeah. You know, we won't say his name.
Of course not, mate. So he's done this more than once.
More than once.
I couldn't believe it. It just in like the concourse.
Yeah.
Between the baggage check and the taxis.
Yeah.
Opened the suitcase, left the open suitcase on the floor and went and had a bump. Come out all weird on the cable. Could barely put his bag back together and just sat in the cab like that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Bad. Don't, if you're listening, and if you do still take drugs or whatever, don't be doing that.
No, don't do that. It's really bad. Mate, our
trouble.
fucking mates are a bunch of Romans, aren't they?
Terrible. Well, at least we left that life behind, mate.
Do you reckon there's a lot of people like that? Or do you reckon it's a rarity?
I've got to say, I do think our mates are quite unique. When after the Southend Palace Theatre, we obviously went for a little curry. If you are signed up to the Patreon, you will know about the blinding story that happened at the curry after the Palace Theatre gig. If you're not signed up to the Patreon, sorry, you don't know what I'm talking about. But anyway, we had this curry, and it's all our mates, yeah. And I come with Louis, our support act, who's just a bit more chilled. You know what I mean?
Oh, he's a real calm guy.
When we left that meal, he was like, mate, I was like, I can't believe how Larry your mates are. And I was like, I know, mate, they're like next level, aren't they?
But that weren't even that bad. Like, in the scheme of things, that was a pretty tame night.
I mean, they were sat down. So imagine if they're in the wild like that. Do you know what I mean? Like
got the freedom to move around.
Yeah.
We was proper hemmed in that table.
I could tell on the cab on the journey home, you know, Louis had a bit of PTSD. He was a bit like, I can't believe. He's like, mate, your mates are mad. I was like, yeah, they're...
Yeah, and that was a pretty calm night.
Well, I mean, do you think we are the tame ones?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That puts it into perspective.
That does put into great perspective.
Yeah. We're the normal ones.
We are the normal ones, yeah.
There's been some fucked up shit that's happened, mate. We was in a rooftop bar in London. I won't mention which one because it's probably still an open case pending. And it's like really high up.
Yeah.
So it's like you're in the lift for a while. There was like 12 of us in this lift, and we just started jumping up and down, like trying to break the lift while we're in it. Yeah. And the lift like stops like abruptly. We're like, fuck, we've actually done it. Wedged the doors open, and you could see like a crack. I suppose it was about that big. And then there's like another set of doors. So we've wedged them open and all like crawled out of the gap like Indiana Jones out of the lift. And then we're just like on some random floor in this building and then took the stairs and left. Just like, carnage.
Why do it? Why do that?
Why?
Because it's
let's
funny.
break the lift.
Yeah, let's break the lift, yeah. Sort of fucking just shit, stupid things. You got a video about blokes going away, actually. I'll tell you what, I see this video the other day.
It's brilliant, ain't it?
And it really sums up.
I've got it here.
Have you got it here? Well, no, have you got the original?
I've got the original.
Got the original. Play the original.
I'm telling you now.
Right, hang on.
So, this sums it up with the boys, isn't it?
I'm telling you now, guys. As you get older, the amount of time you get to spend with your guy, this is a real, genuine male issue. The amount of time you get to spend with your guy mates diminishes as you get older. Exponentially. Absolutely. As, you know, the responsibilities of life take over. Until the breath runs out of my body, I will always be excited about sitting on the train, heading off somewhere with my mates, and at 9:30 in the morning, the first crack of the tin goes. There is no way that is never not exciting. Yeah. The thrill of it, the lack of responsibility of it for just those few short hours. The world is yours to go and attain and achieve and be excited by. You only live once, you go and get it, and I love it. I love that. Would you like to go on? Yeah. Let's go now. I'm telling you now.
Mate, and that's coming from a posh guy that probably doesn't even do like drugs and brasses.
Nah.
Do you know what I mean?
He's just having a couple of tins.
Yeah, he's like...
Kew Gardens.
Yeah.
Plants. Yeah.
And he gets that rolled up for it, you know?
Yeah. Well, this is it. I feel like
Imagine how much fun he'd have if he come out of us.
Yeah. I don't think he's ready for it. I don't think he's ready.
Mate, I don't think well, one thing I learned about that Indian meal, the curry, Indian meal sound a bit racist. Like the fucking Indian meal. Whoa, fucking hell. Oh, the bloody smell coming out of there. Right, one thing about the curry that I realised, I'm like, I'm not even like, even that takes me, but you know, when you're out with all our mates, that even takes me back a bit now because I don't booze in that no more.
Oh, look, I understand what you're saying, but Saturday night just gone at the boxing was a perfect example.
Yeah.
Right? By the end of the night, I get there and I'm all calm. I'm a little bit, maybe it's like slightly anxious about being in that big social situation.
Yeah.
Where I normally would have poured alcohol and substances on top of it.
Yeah.
And like created a fake how I am.
Yeah.
As the night goes on now, I just like naturally loosen up. And by the end of the night, sometimes I can be a little bit rowdy still.
Yeah.
I just like absorb the energy of everyone else. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Sometimes I'm like, this lot of fucking out their nuts, they're doing my head in. I can't have them round me no more. But sometimes I get that rolled up. So look, that clip, the passion from that man,
He nails it though, doesn't he?
He really does.
He nails it. Being around, and I'm sure the girls, I'm sure the birds listening, I'm sure you have that when you're with your mates.
Yeah.
Of just being around your mates where there's no, you don't have to put any sort of act or front on. You laugh about the stupidest of things. You take the piss out of each other like it's fucking going out of fashion. There's something unbelievable about that, isn't there?
It's
and
important.
You forget, like it says there, you forget about all your responsibilities. The trouble is with me and you is we wanted to forget about them responsibilities so much and live in that reality the whole time. And that's when it become problematic, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you can't do that.
I've partied enough for a lifetime, but I can still get excited about them times. I really can.
Yeah.
And I get.
Do
what
you
you're
still
saying.
get excited though now that you don't drink? Because a lot of blokes message me this when they go, "How'd you deal with not drinking? Like, how'd you have fun?" Is what they want to ask. How do you? I mean, but I would say I would even argue now that the days out, nights out that we have now, are actually more fun because we're not just going to the pub, which usually we're doing some sort of activity, like going to the boxing the other day. So we're doing things, we're actually creating memories where it's like stuff that's actually happening, which is real, you know what I mean? Rather than just sitting in a pub for fucking 10 hours and talking bollocks about what we're going to do with our lives. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that.
But you don't actually ever do.
It never actually happens, you know what I mean? So actually I would say that now we have more fun. One things that probably I don't have that feeling that I probably don't get anymore is that feeling of when we used to go away on a long weekend, maybe Friday to Monday, where you're like, well, I'm going to get fucked up today, right? And that feeling of excitement is unbelievable. But actually, usually when you go on them weekends, you wake up on a Saturday and you think, I could go home now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
This is the problem, right? With that sort of stuff. And look, I've said it on here before. I'm not anti-boozing. I'm not anti-drugs. I'm not anti-going out and getting fucked up and enjoying yourself. But that sort of stuff comes with some consequences. Like you just said, I can go out and enjoy myself like you can, proper enjoy myself. And I can go gym at 7 a.m. the next day. Because I haven't put anything, I ain't put no fucking poison in me. Like, if you want to go and do that stuff, there's a price to pay. Ed Sheeran said this thing. He's like, how much of tomorrow do I want to borrow from today? No, it weren't Ed Sheeran, it was my mate, James Corden.
Right.
How much of tomorrow do I want to borrow by what I'm doing today? And it's like, I don't want to fucking borrow any of it, mate. I can go out and enjoy myself, have a great time, have a laugh. Like I said, by the end of the night, I'm getting rowdy and loud. Like we was at that Indian, you was a bit more subdued. I was getting involved a little bit more.
Yeah.
Because I'd absorbed it. Yeah. So look, anyone who's out there thinking they can't have fun, mate, I was talking to the best white, Jeff, about this is the happiest I've ever been. This is the best time of my life ever.
Yeah.
And like, I didn't think it was going to be like that when I stopped getting on it. I thought it was over, mate.
Thought the life was over.
I thought it was over. And like, even now, like, I get excited to go out for a fucking night out with my missus. Get excited to go out for a day with my family. You can always drive. You never have to worry about drink driving.
I always used to think as well, like, oh, my mates are going to like not find me funny and all this stuff. I used to think that going out, like, on Life and Soul, that I was this big wild character. Like, mate, do you know how fucking jarring I was? Do you know how jarring I was? You know how much more people prefer my company now?
Yeah.
Of me being the real me.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
It's the front, mate. When you're putting on that bravado, you can't keep it up 100% of the time. People start seeing the cracks and they're like, oh no, he's fucking acting.
And there's no way that actually a life of living out, going out and drinking booze and taking drugs, there's no way. I was talking to someone about this the other day. Like, there is just no way that does not affect your work life. You know, you see some people that absolutely cane it and they're still successful and you think, well, how do they manage to do that? I'm telling you, they won't be able to do that forever. That won't last forever.
No, of course not.
It just won't last forever.
Mate, look, there's always consequences to this stuff. There is. You know what I mean? And it does have a negative effect. And if not that, it's taking years off your life. But like I said, mate, like that guy's mentioned on that clip, it's exciting.
It's exciting being around the boys.
And everything in moderation is good.
It's exciting being around the boys.
It is. And
that's saying to you.
I think we're really lucky that we get to have like boys' time doing this pod.
Well, what I was going to say is, you see that clip there, what that geezer said, that is pretty much what you get every week on this podcast.
Yeah.
It's the release of being with the boys, having a laugh, you know. listen, you ain't going to learn loads listening to this podcast. It's not going to change the world. You know, it's not a political podcast where we put the world to rights, and you're not really going to learn anything.
Nah.
I mean, if anything, it's probably going to take brain cells off.
I get the occasional history lesson.
You might get the occasional inaccurate history lesson. Yeah, of course you would. But that's it, you know? That is what this podcast is all about. I mean, funnily enough, actually, they might learn something this week. You see, there's been this big hoo-ha again in Parliament about is Essex, London or Romford? Is Romford Essex or London?
I did. The Romford Conservative MP, Andrew Rosendale.
Yeah.
Amount of times I've seen that geezer's name on a sign throughout my life, and this is when you sent me that clip. It's the first time I've ever seen his face. Didn't know what he looked like. He's trying to say Romford want to be Essex.
Right. Let me ask you this question, and you can ask it of me. Romford, is it London or is it Essex?
So I grew up, my address said Rise Park, Romford, Essex. And then my postcode. But then also, the London Borough of Havering used to turn up and like pick up the bins. So the council was London Borough of Havering. It's an 01708 number, not 020 whatever. But it says Essex on mine.
And you've also got the Met Police in Romford.
There you go. So I was always a little bit confused about where I was from.
I don't think there is any confusion. And I think if you ask the majority of people that live around Hornchurch, Romford, Upminster, these sort of places, right, majority of people around there will tell you, yeah, Romford is in the London Borough of Havering, which would technically, since the boundaries changed in 1965, it would make Romford in London. Technically, yes, I suppose it is. The most important thing, though, Romford is culturally Essex.
Oh, 100%.
100% Essex. And people that live around there and want to say that Romford is in London, listen, at the end of the day, people that are from proper parts of East London are going to look at you.
This is it.
Listen, they're going to look at you and they're going to think, sorry, but...
It'll be, if you ask me, so if I'm in Australia and you ask me where I'm from, I'll say London. Because I'm not going to go, oh, Romford, it's like right on the borders of Essex and London because it's just fucking long to say.
Look,
if I'm talking to a geezer from Central, I'm going to say Romford, mate.
Yeah, Romford.
Essex.
Listen, people, culturally, Romford is very much in Essex. Doesn't matter if the boundaries have changed in 1965 or whatever. And I'll tell you one of the reasons for that is because, this is my opinion, of course, but I think it's largely to be true, is that a lot of people that live in Romford and Hornchurch are usually for families where their parents or grandparents have moved out from East London.
Exactly.
From the East End. Now, Romford to them is...
Country.
It's like the sticks. You try and tell these people that are real proper East Enders that Romford is in East London, they're not going to have it.
No.
So obviously that culturally has spilled out to the kids that even though Romford is in the London Borough of Havering, they will say Essex. Anyone who wants to claim Romford as London, I don't know, it maybe is to try and give themselves a bit of credibility, but people that are from those real core parts of East London, right, I'm talking your Bethnal Greens,
Your Canning Towns.
your Hackneys,
Your Plaster.
they're going to look at Poplar, Limehouse, places like this. They're going to look at Romford. I'm sorry, but they're not going to see you as an East London.
No, you're country.
But not that you're even country. It's like culturally, Romford is Essex. And listen, if you want to be from Romford and say that you're a Londoner, well, technically you can. And if that makes you feel better, 100%. But culturally, Romford is in Essex.
Culturally, Romford is Lithuania at the minute, mate.
Well, but this is it. Romford also, in recent years, has become more diverse, and it is definitely feeling a lot more like London now. But for me, as someone that's always grown up in them areas, as someone that's gone to school in Hornchurch, no one ever classed that area as London.
But are they going to do something about
Essex.
it? I don't think they are. That's basically what the other guy in that clip said. He's like, it's not going to change soon. Like, it is what it is. You know what I mean?
But it's just more annoying when people go, Romford hasn't been in Essex since 1965. It's like, mate, if you're from them areas, you know what we're talking about when we say that Romford Hornchurch is in Essex.
Romford's in Essex. I'm saying it now. But mate, it's on my fucking address. Romford, Essex.
That's it.
There you go.
But the funny thing is there are other parts of London, other parts around there since the 1965 boundaries in like south, north, where they have really taken the identity of this is North London, right?
Like Barnet.
Places like Enfield used to be in Middlesex, now in North London.
Okay.
Right? Now technically Middlesex doesn't exist, I don't think. Croydon, prime example, it's like Surrey, but they like South London, but really Croydon ain't fucking Bermondsey, is it? Do you know
Yeah.
I
What
mean?
about Bromley?
Bromley, again, it's another one. It's the London Borough of Bromley.
Yeah, but it
right?
used to be in Kent.
So loads of kids would like try and be like, yeah, South London, but really Bromley culturally, it's
You ain't from
more,
Peckham, bruv.
yeah, it's more culturally Kent. You know what I
Okay,
mean?
I understand what's going on. I didn't know that's what happened. I didn't know that.
But one thing I would say is in like Bromley, Croydon, and all that, they're more on saying it's South London there. In Romford, people, and this is my theory, it's because a lot of the families that live there are from proper parts of East London. They're like, no, this is Essex.
Yeah, I agree.
So there you go. Hopefully
That one's been put to bed. Look, take that to Parliament, yeah? Play that
Listen,
clip.
let us know what you think in the comments. You might really disagree with us, but as two people that have grown up in them areas, we're just telling you what our experience is.
And how it actually is.
And now it actually is. Exactly that. And now it actually is. So, I've got a blinder to tell him on a Patreon episode. So
Sick.
jump over to the Patreon episode now if you signed up with us. Thank you everyone who has signed up to the Patreon so far.
Yeah, thank you.
Just a reminder, you got the Denise Van Out membership, £5. You got £7 for the Eddie Hearn membership, and you got £10 for the Ronnie O'Sullivan. And if you're not on a Patreon, you are missing out.
What are you doing? Just...
There's
Hey.
some blinding episodes on there already. It's already great value for money. So get yourself signed up over there. All the Patreon members, we'll see you over there. What they got to do on YouTube, Whiteboy?
Leave us a like, leave us a comment, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon if you never want to miss an episode. And while you're at it, sign up to the Patreon.
See you all soon.